Today we are bringing you a review of the Acer Liquid Zest Plus. The phones were priced at just over 100 euros when they were first released earlier this year, and while the Zest Plus isn't quite as cheap, it brings some substantial upgrades over its siblings while it's only costing around 250 euros. By far the biggest feature of the Liquid Zest Plus is its enormous 5000 mAh battery that Acer states should get 3 days of use on one charge. Of course, phone manufacturers like to exaggerate these numbers, but with real-world use, with Wi-Fi data usage, watching YouTube videos, performing high-intensive tasks, the phone easily held up for 2 full days of use. But then again, 5000 mAh is such a huge number that we actually have to expect that, because let's for example say Samsung Galaxy S7 only has a 3000 mAh battery, and it's a flagship phone that uses quite a bit more power to power the screen on there and of course the processor. And if that phone gets us a full day's use, the Liquid Zest Plus with its mid-range specs has to give us 2 full days. If not 3 as the manufacturer suggests. Additionally, should your battery get low just before you wanna head out for the day, it supports quick charging that gets you to 50% capacity in less than 1 hour, although you have to use a charging cable and charging dock provided by the manufacturer when using this feature. One last thing as far as power goes, there's also a feature called USB OTG on the go technology, which lets the Liquid Zest Plus share its power or its capacity with another micro USB supported device, be it a phone, a wearable or anything like that. As a medium range device, the Zest Plus doesn't really feel as cheap as you'd expect. Yes, it is made of plastic, the backside is very thin, and we actually thought it would break in our hands while removing it to see if the battery is removable. However, it is by no means bad. With its 5.5-inch IPS screen, the Zest Plus moves into the small phablet territory, and it is really overwhelming to use the device if you have smaller hands. But I digress. The colors on the large IPS screen are vivid and detailed and don't have any noticeable color shift when viewing from the off-axis. We would have liked to see a better resolution in the device, although its 1280 by 720 resolution is still 267 pixels per inch and it holds up pretty well. You can definitely see the pixels, I won't deny that, but it's not anything that will bother us in day-to-day use. On the inside, the Liquid Zest Plus uses a quad-core 1.3 GHz MediaTek chipset backed up by 2 GB of RAM, which is a budget combination, although the Android 6.0 Marshmallow ran smoothly on our review unit. Should you decide for an alternative ROM or remove the bloat that is present on the device with our 15 pre-installed Acer branded applications, it is sure to perform even better. On the side of the Liquid Zest Plus, there is also support for either 2 SIM slots or a SIM slot and a micro SD expansion slot. Moving onwards to another heavily marketed feature of the Liquid Zest Plus is the camera. It features a 13 megapixel sensor with ultra-fast hybrid focusing systems that should in theory enable us to better capture moving subjects in tough lighting conditions. They use face detection autofocusing for bright daylight scenes, laser focusing for dark scenes at short distances such as restaurants, and contrast detection autofocusing to capture subjects in low light, so you're covered in all typical use case scenarios. That's as far as the marketing mumbo jumbo is concerned, but in practice it's usually quite different. We are glad to say that it's not terrible by any means. Of course, high-end solutions that are integrated into, I don't know, an iPhone 7 or Samsung Galaxy S7 are better and focus faster and more reliably, but for this price range we have not seen a solution that focuses so quickly and so consistently. One thing that has to be criticized regarding the camera is its app. It is very simplified, so that's good for the casual user, but for advanced users you can't really shoot RAW, as well as settings such as ISO and white balance are hidden in submenus that are completely unintuitive and you have to spend some quality and precious time to get to. Moving onwards, the phone also has HD DTS audio from Dolby, so you'll get sound that is solid from these speakers. The lows are not there as per usual on mobile devices, but it is quite loud, so there's that. I would have liked to see Acer not skin this phone as heavily as they do. Yes, they do add some very nice features, such as the alarm clock is much better than the default Google one, but that is one thing that you should always give your customers the option to install apps, not pre-install them and make the phone a hog for resources, and in the end the stock Android just works, while the apps and skins on these devices usually freeze right when you don't want them to, and that was also the case on the Acer Liquid Zest Plus. All in all, the phone is a medium spec, medium price range phone with a massive battery, and it is not meant for hardcore users, but it is meant for people who want that old feeling of the battery that stays with you for a week. It is not 2 weeks on this device, but it's better than any other device on the market. Thanks for watching this review on Discharge Networks. Don't forget to comment and subscribe.